Hi everybody, how's everyone's week been? Has everyone had a good one? It's time to end it, it's the weekend, and it's time for our breakfast recipe of the week, which we're going to be having as dinner. Breakfast for dinner is awesome. We're going to be making Eggs Benedict today. Let's get started. It's time for another episode of Cooking with Kaitlin. That's me. Enjoy! Alright, the first thing we are going to be taking care of is the meat because we need to cook it. Traditionally, you would use Canadian bacon. I could not find any, like 3 different places I went, except for a huge amount that I just could not justify because I was like, what else am I going to use this for? I cannot find recipes I want to make at the moment for all of that. But you could also just use deli sliced ham or regular bacon. And as we've had bacon and other recipes this week, I thought, well, great. I'm just going to save that. There it is. I'm just slicing it up so it's ready to go on the English muffins. We've got our pan lined with foil. Got our oven preheating to 400. Almost. Okay. Just gonna do that. Cook them about 20 to 30 minutes. Probably a little less, probably more on the 20-minute side, just because there's less of it to cook. When there's less to cook, the heat can kind of centralize and go faster. So we're going to put these in the oven, and we'll move on to the next step in a second. All right, now we're going to be making our hollandaise. So we've got boiling water with a glass bowl on top. Got half a cup of cream. We're going to boil that and get all that out of our little spatula. All of it gets in there. We have 4 egg yolks. Tablespoons of lemon juice. Sorry guys, about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard that I thought was going to come out a little more blue, but it was wrong. And a couple taps of cayenne. Right, gonna whisk this till it gets nice and thick. But just stirring it nicely. How you're in essence cooking your egg yolks. And I like that I'm using my Pyrex because then when it's done, I've got a little lid I can just put on top of it that'll help it keep warm while we poach the eggs and get that ready. Otherwise, you'd be pouring this into a dish that'll help keep it warmer that you can put in the microwave if needed, if it takes you a while to poach your eggs. Alright, so we're just letting that thicken. We're going to use this to drizzle on top of our Eggs Benedict. I think it's part of what makes it Eggs Benedict. So you want it to be able to come coat. And then we're going to add our final thing, which is half a cup or 1 stick of melted butter. Ooh, yes. You can never go wrong with butter. I hope any fun plans for the weekend. Sean and I've got our date night kit that came in. It's 90s themed. I think it's got like a Tamagotchi in it. I think that'll be fun to play with. Some fun little activities. But it's starting to feel like really nice weather out there. We're starting to get to fall. Very exciting. Just keep stirring. Alright, we will check back in because I know this is probably getting a little boring, but we're just going to keep stirring while it thickens. Just been whisking, letting this thicken up. See, it's getting nice there. So we're going to remove it from heat now so we can move on to our next step. Alright guys, just showing you the bacon came out. Did about 25 minutes. And it is nice. We're just going to let it drain now. And I know I didn't say anything, but I took the English muffins and they were already pre-sliced, put them on a pan, and I'm just going to toast them for 5 minutes in the oven, just so they're nice and crispy. In the meantime, we've got our pot of water boiling with just a little bit of vinegar splashed in it. We're going to let it just heat up just a bit till it's slightly simmering, and then we will check back. Alright, I don't think you guys can see as well, like just very light bubbles, that's what you want. Just heating up enough. And then one of the methods that you commonly see is to do this whirlpool, and I will be perfectly honest, I have never done this before. You do a whirlpool effect, and you've got your egg already in, and it needs to be a fresh egg, super fresh egg. You've already got it in the thing, and then tip it, let's hope this works. You tip it into the center, and it just keeps swirling and cooking that away. So let's see what it does. I might have dumped too close, I'm not sure. But if I mess up, I mess up. Sometimes that happens with us. Or maybe it's not actually hot enough. Maybe I needed it to be hotter than it is. So let's find out. Yeah, I don't think this quite worked out how it was supposed to. That's okay. We're learning together. Like I said, I've never done this before, but that should be a reason not to try a recipe. I have dispersed it. Should have done that. Now let it finish doing its thing. And then we'll try again on the next one. Yeah, I think it probably was not hot enough. Or maybe there's too much water. I'm not totally sure. We will check that. Alright, so it's kind of come out. It's not as pretty as we might have liked. But it did. It took a few minutes. We're going to try the other way next. I'm going to pause you guys, kind of get this drained. Alright, the other method is to let it go to that point. So it's hotter. And then you just pour the eggs in. You don't stir. You just pour them in. You put a splash of vinegar in with them. Pour your eggs in. Like that, and then well, they're just going to combine gigantically, but we'll figure that out. For a couple minutes, and then put the top on. So we're going to do with these guys. We'll check back and see how that. Alright, so we let it simmer with the top on for a while, and it's coming out. It's still not pretty. Again, guys, my first time. And I know they have the little egg poaching devices, and maybe that's just what I should invest in, but I wanted to try a new skill, as I encourage you all to do. And it should still taste okay. This one, the egg whites on this one still need to cook a little longer, so we're going to let that do. We're going to pull out some of the excess. Alright. But then we'll do a little assembly at the table and show you how it all goes together. Our English muffins that have been toasted. I'm going to take some bacon on there. I'm going to flip one of our eggs. See, they eventually started coming out okay. You guys just saw the not as great first examples. But it was just letting them sit in there was the way to do it. So got that. Then we're going to put some of our hollandaise sauce. See how nice and thick that got? Ooh, and just let it go on there. Oh, baby. That's the stuff. And thank you to Carrie for filming.
Contact me for weddings and events.
She's a great director. And then you're supposed to sprinkle something like paprika on the top. So just a little dusting.
Just a dusting.
And then bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Alright, we're gonna just slice in.
So do you think you'd buy these again?
Ooh, look at that. So good.